Hello. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all my subscribers who have stuck around. And if you are seeing me for the first time, my name is Dimagazo, a South African YouTuber, a first-time mom to a beautiful baby girl. Now, if you'd like to join my community, please press that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it because I'm still growing my channel and I would appreciate you being part of my community. Thank you so much, and I do hope you can press the like button after watching this video, and you can catch up on some previous videos just to get to know me and my baby better. Now, I know I've been gone for a minute, but yeah, life was happening, and wow, I must say, being a first-time mom, I'm learning a lot. And also, me and my baby have been just experiencing so much that has been happening, the good and the bad. We were hospitalized for 7 days. I mean, that was the most scariest 7 days of my life, because I thought, wow, I'm going to lose my baby, because that was the first time seeing her actually critical like that. When I rushed her to the hospital, she was vomiting and she was dehydrated, and they found some viruses in her lungs, so they were treating her lungs. So it was just the most exhausting time of my life, and I couldn't believe that we are going through that. But yeah, we were discharged and she's been better. It's just flu there and there, some cough, because also it's winter. We're trying to be healthy and safe, but there's some things we really can't get or run away from. So it's just the basic coughs. Even now, I've been getting some flu. You think you're getting better, then next week you are also like, I've been sick every other week. Like, I don't know if it's just me or it's just the season. I have no idea. And she's been teething. Oh, that is also, I thought chronic colic was a nightmare. My God, teething is the worst. I think I preferred colic because I knew what was happening. I knew what to do. Now with teething, I think I have it. Then it's just, a whole lot of surprises. But I'm happy to report that we're doing okay. And it's the actual countdown to her first birthday. Like, it's a few days left. She'll be turning, in a week now, she'll be turning 1 year. I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited about what I have planned for us. And, it's just going to be the most wonderful time of our lives. So I thought, because it's a countdown to her first birthday, I just wanted to do a story time about the first time I found out I was pregnant, my pregnancy, and after birth, and just the journey. There are some parts of the journey that I've shared on my channel, like what we went through after birth, the colic as well, but I just want to do a small briefing of a story time, just to give the details and open up more about my journey as a first-time mom and how it started. So yeah, so I found out I was pregnant 2024, if I'm not lying. Oh my God, am I? Yeah, 2024. I gave birth 2025. Yes. So I found out I was pregnant 2024 November, a day before my birthday. My birthday is on the 12th of November. So I found out on the 11th of November that I was pregnant. So it was not a shock that I'm pregnant, because I was trying for a baby with my then fiance. But yeah, things didn't work out, and I'm currently a single mom. That's a story for another day. So we were trying for a baby, so I would actually note my ovulation time. I was like eating properly, doing walkings, and drinking a lot of water. So I knew that I'm gonna be pregnant very soon, but I did not expect it would be that soon. because I had been using what I don't know how to pronounce this word. Guys, mommies in the comments, can you tell me if after birth you still experience fog, like brain fog, pregnancy fog is still, like sometimes I even forget, small words, the simplest words. Sometimes I want to say this word and I don't know how to even say it, and then I remember afterwards what I wanted to say. Am I the only one experiencing that? Please let me know. So prevention. I was preventing. Let me rather use this word. The other one is gone. Contra something. I know. Yeah. So I was using patches. My doctor did tell me that after stopping, it doesn't take time for the medication to be out of your system. So it can be a few months, but I should, not be alarmed if I'm not pregnant within that year. So she actually gave me a period of a year to get pregnant. And then if we don't get pregnant within a year, then I can come back. We can try some vitamins. Then after that, if they don't work, then we can look into, deeper things to check if maybe fertility issues and stuff. So basically, I knew that I'm gonna be pregnant, but I didn't expect it to be that quick. So yeah, we're trying for a baby, and within 4 months I was pregnant. So I found out the day before my pregnancy. I was actually on my way to do my hair, and that week I have been so lightheaded. And on the day of my hair appointment, I was actually gonna pass by at Clicks to buy some few toiletry, and I normally tested every month. So when we were trying, when my periods did not come, I would test and it would say I'm not pregnant. My periods would come later on. So every month I would test, and every time I tested, it would be a disappointment that, oh, I'm not pregnant. Until I said, you know what, let me stop tracking like on a monthly that am I pregnant or not. Let me just allow the year, like my doctor said. Let me wait for the year, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So on my way to my hair appointment, I was feeling so sick. I couldn't breathe properly. So when I got there, I told my hairdresser, you know what, I'm not feeling okay, so can I please take off my bra? Like, I took off my bra, took off my shirt. She literally did my hair with no shirt on. Like, she gave me a clean towel that I wrapped myself with so that she can do my hair and finish. But that was the worst time of my life, having to do my hair on that day. I couldn't wait for her to finish. I even changed my hairstyle because I was supposed to do plating like 1-1, and I realized I'm not going to sit through this whole session. So I changed the hairstyle. I was like, she should do cornrows, thick ones, so that we quickly finish. After that, I left. I went to Clicks. I bought toiletry and pregnancy test. I even bought myself some wine. At the time, I enjoyed a bottle of wine. Sometimes I would buy these small ones. I loved wine at the time. So I even bought myself some wine, and I wanted to unwind when I got home. And then when I got home, I was like, let me test first, and then I can just relax after taking a bath and just have my wine. So then I tested, and then I put it aside. Then I checked, and boom, it said positive. And I took another one. The second one didn't even waste time. After just putting it on the urine, immediately it was double lines red, and I was like, I froze for a minute, and then I screamed like, oh, I'm really pregnant. And then I paused, because after I realized, I was like, because during the time I found out I was pregnant, the relationship was actually not working, and it was not a good time. So I felt like, you know what, this is a great moment for me, so I'm not going to spoil it by telling the person now. So I decided to just enjoy the moment and just be happy. And I found out, and then I was just happy for the day. I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with this wine? So I had to give it away. At the time where I was staying, I had some neighbors who also drank, so I gave them, yeah, that. And basically that was it. Like, I was so excited, but I was like, you know what, I need to go to my GP and confirm this. So the following day, actually no, I'm lying, it was not the following day, it was 3 days later, because I found out on a Friday, and my birthday was on a Saturday, so it was on a weekend. So I decided to go to my doctor on a Monday. So I went to the doctor on a Monday, and then we checked, and then boom, we were finally confirmed it that I am pregnant. And then she told me that I was 8 weeks pregnant. I was like, 8 weeks already? So all this time I was feeling this funny feeling. It was my little baby girl inside of me. So my pregnancy, I don't want to lie, it was the best pregnancy I've ever had until the 3rd trimester. Okay. So I informed the particular person, and the person decided to tell me that this is not his baby. And I was like, oh well, it is what it is. I'm just gonna carry on and enjoy my pregnancy, because listen, this is a gift that I have been waiting for, and I believe my baby was not a mistake. God knew this is how it's gonna happen. So I would like to encourage any other mom, first time mom, or any other mom who's had a child and they've had, challenges in terms of the other party being present. Your baby is not a mistake. God knew that you are going to have that child at a certain age, at a certain time, with a particular person. So never even take the burden of that person being absent in your child's life on yourself, because it has nothing to do with you. I hear other moms saying, I failed my child by choosing the wrong person to have a baby with. Every woman, when you enter a relationship, you do not know that this is how it's going to end. There are people who see red flags and they ignore them, but there is no red flags at all. People may say, no, they were there, you just ignore them. Sometimes there is no red flag, and you don't see anything that is gonna show you that the situation is gonna go in a certain way. So I thought I should just put it out there that, sometimes it's not even a burden that you should carry, that the person decides not to be present. You must just focus on you and your baby, or your kids, if you have more than one, right? So yeah, my pregnancy, oh my god, my baby girl, she treated me so well. I was glowing like nobody's business. I've never been, I am pretty, but I've never been that pretty. Oh my god, I was glowing. I would get, excitement about dressing up. I dressed up. I was even wearing high heels. At work, I'm a working mom. So at work, they would even ask me, some other moms, like, how do you do it? Others would say, during my pregnancy, I was always sick. I would wear leggings and just flats all the time. And I'd be like, I'm also shocked. Because, when people tell you the stories about their pregnancies and motherhood, they share what they experience, and they tell you that is what you're going to go through. But actually, pregnancies are different. Journeys are different. So my journey was totally different. Like, I enjoyed my pregnancy, so I was dressing up. And I must commend myself on one thing that I decided to do. For me to even enjoy my pregnancy is because I decided to shut down any other voice. I decided to make the journey my own, and I didn't listen to anyone. I didn't take any advice about anything. Any person would advise, I would just listen, but I wouldn't listen. If that makes sense. I decided to make the journey my own, because this is my first time being pregnant, and I don't want to ruin the journey by taking other people's experience and being afraid that this is gonna happen. I just said, you know what, I'm not gonna listen to anything, and I took a cautious decision to not even Google anything or watch certain videos on social media about pregnancy. And the only thing I did was to watch videos about preparing for my birth, because I wanted to give birth naturally. So I would watch videos on how to do my breathings, how to prepare myself for my birth. Those are the positive videos and research I did. But any other thing of this is gonna happen, and I don't eat this, don't eat that, if you eat this your baby's gonna come out looking like, I didn't listen to such things. I just decided to make the journey my own, and that helped me a lot. I don't want to lie. So I enjoyed my pregnancy. The only voice I listened to was God. Now, I thought I was close to God until I was pregnant. I thought I was a prayer warrior until I got pregnant. Man, oh man, did I have the best time of my life with God during my pregnancy. I mean, another thing I would, advise moms, if you are a prayerful person, this is the time for you to plant. Like, this is the time for you to speak into your life. If there are certain things you want to happen for you during your pregnancy, is the time you must speak and you must pray about things, because that is the time you are creating a human being. You are also creating into your future. Because I don't want to lie, certain things I prayed for during my pregnancy, I've seen happen after birth. And that is a story for another day as well. But I just want to say, take the time to create the life that you desire for you, for your kids. Speak life into your life, and you will see. I mean, it will happen. I mean, I would have visions about certain things. I would pray about certain things, and I would see them happen. I would speak into something, and it would just, God loves a pregnant woman. He ensures that he is looking after you personally. Personally, he is the one in charge of your life and your baby during that time. So don't take it for granted. So speak to him and allow him to just protect you during that time. So yeah, I had the best time, and I wanted to know the gender. So when the time was right, I did ask my gyna to tell me the gender, and then when I found out it was a girl, oh man, I was so excited, because I had prayed. Before I wanted twins, before I was Delulu, I wanted twins. And when that didn't happen, when I found out I was pregnant, I asked God, I was like, God, it must be a girl. I want a baby girl. I want a baby girl. I want a baby girl. And she gave me a baby girl. So I was excited, yeah. So when I found out it was a girl, I was, extremely excited. I was like, God gave me what I want. It is my desire. And yeah, so on my third trimester, that's when I was starting to be sick. I'll be so exhausted. I even changed color. Oh my God. If I'll be able to do that, I'm going to share some pictures or clips. I will attach them to this video if I'm able to. I changed color. Like, I changed color literally. If you see on my previous video where I share about my skin, and that's not even the worst of it. Like, even on that video, I look better. Like, I changed color on my third trimester. I couldn't even recognize myself. I mean, she took all the beauty, and man, she's a beauty. My girl is a beauty. Like, my girl is a beauty. Okay, so hello. And then I was supposed to give birth on the 17th of July. On my last appointment with my gyna, it was the last week of June. She actually booked me off. She said I must be home for that 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of June, and she told me that I have to be home, and then, but I can still walk. I need to walk. So from work, I was happy because, I didn't enjoy going to work on my third trimester. I mean, I was like, I was still dressing up though. I was still dressing up, but just going there was a drag. Like, people irritated me. When someone would talk, it'd be like, don't talk to me, okay? So it was just a drag. When she told me that I needed to be home, I was so excited, and I couldn't wait. And then I took the offer and I stayed home. But she also informed me that now my placenta is getting old and I'm running out of water, so we need to give birth on the first week of July. And I was like, I started panicking. And she was like, no, there's no need to panic. You can still give birth naturally. So I'm going to give you a task to induce yourself. So she told me to do certain exercises and keep on walking so that the baby can come naturally. And I did that, nothing. And she told me if by the 31st, the 30th or the 31st, I don't know, June ends on the 30th or 31st, I don't remember. If she's by the last day of June, the baby is not coming, I need to come in to the hospital and she needs to induce me. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to work hard. I would squat. I would even do extra so that this baby can come. And my baby girl was like, no, mommy, no, I'm not coming. So on the first, I did prepare. Well, in terms of buying things, I would buy things, but on the clothes, I did not buy a lot of clothes because I didn't want to waste, number one, money, and I didn't know how much my baby would come weighing. So if I've bought a lot of clothes and they don't fit her, so I didn't want to waste money on a lot of clothes. What I did was purchase a lot of toiletry, like your nappies, everything that she's gonna need, and the things that I'm gonna need during after birth when you come home, because I didn't have any help and I knew that I'm gonna do this alone. I didn't have a village, so I had planned properly for me and my baby to be at home at the time so that I don't struggle with anything. So during the time I was ready. Like, my bag was ready, the baby's bag was ready, things I needed at the time I had available. So during the time that I had to go, then I went and I was admitted at the hospital, and they induced me that night. The first time they induced me, I was panicking. I remember the day before I prayed. I was like, God, please, if there's anything that you can do for me, I don't want to give birth with C-section. No. C-section. Caesar. Yeah. I don't want to do that because I don't have a village and I don't have help. So it's going to be hard for me to be healing while I have to look after the baby on my own. So I thought naturally it would be better if we go through things with the baby. At least I'm not, in injuries during the time. So I really wanted to give birth naturally. So yeah, they induced me and they said we will wait for hours, and if it has worked, I will give birth the following morning. Oh my God. Nothing happened that night. I slept and nothing happened. They were busy. There was this belt that I hated that they put on me, and it made me more uncomfortable. But I must say the staff was exceptional. Like, the hospital I chose, because it was two options, and my doctor told me to view both, but she would recommend the other one, and I went with the one that she recommended because I actually preferred that one when I went to view, and I realized that I would have a private room, a private labor, and a private, afterwards I'll having my own private room with the baby. We will not be sharing it with anyone. So yeah, basically I was there and the staff was very, exceptional. I really must commend all of them. I don't want to lie. If I would do this again, I would do them with, the same hospital, the same team. I don't want to lie. So the following morning, They were talking to my doctor overnight, and they said, well, it didn't happen. They had induced me. They put in the first pill, then they had to put in the second pill in the morning. In that morning, and it was the 2nd of July. So nothing happened. They said, let's give it time. Nothing happened. And I was worried. And then they said the doctor will tell them what to do. So the following morning, on the 3rd, that's when I started to have pains. Actually, the pain started at night. On the 2nd, I started having pain. Oh, I was in pain. I've never been in pain. Oh my God, I'm not going back there. All right. So, I mean, dear future husband, just know that andizingeni, mina ndi right. I'm not going back. I'm good. Oh, the pains I had. Oh my God. But I appreciate the time I took to learn about breathing, because man, oh man, did that session of breathing and, the research, it really helped me, because even my gyna was so proud of me. She was like, my girl, I'm really proud of you. The breathing helped me a lot. And while I was in pain, I would try to exercise. I would be in bed. I would roll. I would complain. Oh my God, it was so painful. There is no other way to explain that pain. It was painful. Okay, so in that afternoon, then the time came when I had to push. My doctor was already there. She told me that, listen, this is time. We need to do the pushing, and it's gonna happen. So it was a lot of them, like the doctor and the nurses, and there was this other doctor that also came in to help. And I remember there was this other it was the head nurse of that maternal ward. She was on top of me, because my baby, I think she was trying to sleep at the time when she had to come out, and I was pushing. So it was like my baby is now trying to relax. So the head nurse was on top of me, so that when I push, the baby can literally wow. So yeah, I pushed 3 times, and the last push, the baby came out. And my gyna was like, oh my God, you are so strong, how did you do it? The breathing. And I was like, I don't know, it's God. Also, I did practice the breathing, but basically it was God. So my baby girl was there, and now they had to take me to the theater, because I was torn underneath, so that they can fix me down there. And then my baby had to go to ICU so that she can get checked, and nothing was wrong. They said it's just a procedure. They need to screen her, check for jaundice and any other thing. But they assured me that the baby is fine. The baby is healthy. She was weighing 2.9 kg. I was so excited, but I was so exhausted, and I was falling asleep. And my doctor was like, don't fall asleep. And then I don't know what medication they gave me, because the last thing I remember, they were telling me that we're going to the theater, and then I need to relax. My doctor and the other doctor, they're going to be operating me and, sewing me. Yeah, that is the word. Sewing me underneath. And then I won't feel any pain. I will wake up and they'll be done. And I thought, they're not telling the truth. And literally, that's the last thing I heard. They will tell me that they're about to do the procedure. And I woke up. I was in my hospital room. And I was like, what? And they were like, yep, basically. And they were removing this inhaler that they have put in. I wanted to panic. I was like, where am I? And the nurse was like, no, relax. And she removed it. She was like, now you are done with the procedure and everything is fine. Your baby is fine. She's out of ICU. She's with the nurses. They're looking after her so that you can rest. I was like, wow. And yeah, during our time in hospital, because we were there for 4 days. No, actually 3 more days. Yeah, not 4, 3 more days. And they were looking after us. I was in pain. Oh my God, moving. I couldn't laugh. When I would laugh, like having to go to pee, and it was so hard, it was painful, but yeah, my baby was here. And finally, when they brought her, I was so excited. It was the best. It was the best time. It was the best time. And yeah, we were discharged, and I was given this. Okay, let me share about my milk. During the time, like on the first day when I had to latch, the milk was not coming out, and I was so stressed. I was like, if there's two things I wanted to give birth naturally, and I desired to breastfeed. So I didn't want formula for my baby at all. And the nurses told me, no, I need to relax. The doctor has prescribed these pills. If the milk doesn't come out within 2 days, then I'll just have to continue drinking the pills while I give my baby formula, but I must continue latching. So at the hospital, I tried, would latch, and then a bit of milk would come out, but it would not be enough for the baby. So they advised that I give formula. So I would give formula to the baby. Even when we were discharged, I think for the first 2 days, she was still drinking that formula. And she would cry a lot, so I thought she's hungry, so I would give her the formula, because I thought maybe she's not getting enough milk from my breast. And I was stressed. Like, that first week was so stressful. There was someone who had offered to help. She did help me on that week. She would come and cook, help me with the umbilical cord, and yeah, but basically most of the things I would do for myself, and I would be with the baby alone. So I would worry a lot, but I think after 3 days, my milk came out like properly, and I was so excited. I was so happy. Then I continued breastfeeding, and 2 weeks within, after, like, we were back from hospital, that's when my baby started having colic. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think I shared about that. So if you want to know more about what happened and how did I manage the time during colic, go and watch my video about the time my baby had colic and the solutions that I have on that video. But yeah, basically that's it. And yeah, I don't want to lie, parenting alone was hard. As much as I loved my baby, the time that I was in pain and I couldn't do certain things properly, it was the hardest time. And I just thought, there's nothing I can do. This is what is my reality. And my house was not a house where, like, everybody is coming in every day, someone is coming to help. No, like I said, I didn't have a village, so I literally did this on my own. So, but I got through it. Even when I was just going through it, I didn't even think the time would pass where I'm no longer in pain and I'm just looking after my baby. But my baby and I made it. I mean, today she's 11 months, about to turn 1 year, and I mean, we did it. So I just summarized. I know there's a lot of things that I didn't mention, and maybe if you do have questions as a first-time mom, maybe you are currently pregnant or you just had a baby and you would like to know some things, you can ask me in the comment section and I will answer, either in the comments or I will do a video about it. I know there's a lot of things that I left out, but I just wanted to share the story of how I found out I was pregnant, during my pregnancy, and the hospital bed. So if I'm able to do that, I'm going to attach video clips and pictures about the whole journey. But yeah, basically that's it. I don't want to lie, I love being a mom. I enjoy being a mom to my baby girl. I feel like being a girl mom helps me to remain being soft and just being a girl, because after all, I'm just a girl. So I enjoy being her mother. I don't want to lie. I mean, God knew that I needed that child. God knew that I needed my baby, and it's the most precious time. Even the milestones, I'm so blessed. My child, I don't have to force her to do anything. I don't have to push her to do anything. When she's ready to do something, she just does it. And I mean, it's the best. From her starting to sit, starting to say the first word, mama, crawling, teething, walking, because she's now walking. So, I mean, my baby has just, been a blessing. I didn't have to push her to do anything. And yeah, I'm happy to report that we're doing great. We're wonderful. And yeah, we moved to a new place. We are also, we have fully settled. There's a video I shared when we were moving and the house was still a mess. I can, report that there's a system now, and we're doing great. It's not fully furnished as yet as well, but we're okay. We're doing okay. I'll do a video where I just do a tour of the whole apartment because it's now packed and it's not a mess anymore. And yeah, you can see how far we are, and then so that as we continue to do vlogs and just sharing more insight and information, because I believe like I was not a first time mom by mistake. There's so much information I can share about a lot of things. So I will be doing that on my channel, and a community of first time moms, and I hope to help a lot of you about a lot of things, because I also feel like there's so much information that you're not told. You get to experience it during the time that you are pregnant or mothering your baby. There's so much information I had to find out on my own, because people did share but they did not share. It's like they shared their experience, but there's a lot of things that I had to learn on my own. Even that clinic card that we have in South Africa, where they give you information about solids, and I feel like there's so much information also missing there, about colic, about when the baby, there's a lot of things. But yeah, mommies, thank you for watching this video. I do hope you will come back. Remember to subscribe and like the video, and I will see you on the next one. Hopefully I'm going to share what we're going to do for the first birthday, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. There's so much in store. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. It doesn't look like I'm excited, but I'm over the moon. So thank you for watching the video, and I will see you next time.